parents told me my £45,000 was an investment in my name, and a year and a half after I handed it over, I learned what they had actually written down at the solicitors. I am 25. I am a remortgage caseworker, which is to say I read deeds for a living, which is to say it should embarrass me more than it does that I never read my own. I live with my fiancé Amir in a terraced house outside Leicester that he bought 2 years before we met. I started saving when I was 17. I put £80 a week in the building society for 6 years. By 23, I had £45,000 in a Halifax account my dad and I had opened when I was 16 because I had not been old enough to open it alone. My dad came to me on a Sunday afternoon last March. He sat on the edge of my bed and told me he had found a way to triple my money in 5 years. The terraced house next door to my parents had come on the market. He wanted to buy it as a rental for my aunt, who was being evicted from her council flat. He said the deposit and stamp duty came to $45,000. He said if I put the money in, my name would be on the deed alongside his. I asked him if I should bring my own solicitor. He said it was the same firm that had done the family will. He said we keep things in the family. I signed what he put in front of me. I did not read it. I had read 400 deeds that month at work, and I was tired, and he was my dad. He drove me to the solicitor, a quiet man named Mr. Khalid, who did not look me in the eye while I signed. The money cleared. The aunt moved in. My mother started asking me, that summer, why I was spending so much at Amherst. She made me show her my bank statements at the kitchen table. She told me 3 different times that the $45,000 had been gifts from her. In November, I lost my job. I asked my dad about the rental income. He said the rent was being held in a separate account for the renovations. In January, Amir suggested, gently, that when my money came back, I could put some into his house, and we could put my name on the deed and the mortgage together. My mother heard about this, and came to the house and shouted that he was using me, and that the only deed I should be on was the one next door. I said, calmly, show me the deed next door. She said it was at the solicitor's. I drove there the next morning. Mr. Khalid did not want to give me a copy without my dad's signature. I told him I worked in remortgage and knew exactly which form he needed me to fill out. I told him I would not leave until I had a copy in my hand. He printed 3 pages. He gave them to me. The deed had 2 names on it, my dad's and my mom's. My name was nowhere on the document. The $45,000 had been entered into the file as a gift from me to my parents, with a signed declaration in my handwriting saying I expected no return on it, and made no claim of interest in the property. The signature was mine. The declaration was not in my handwriting. The signature had been transferred onto a page I had not read on the day I had not read 4 other pages. I sat in my car in the High Street car park for 40 minutes. Then I drove to a different solicitor. The new solicitor was a woman named Priya Khan. Priya read the 3 pages. Priya said the gift declaration was unwound able if I could prove undue influence and a fiduciary relationship, both of which I could, because my dad had been on my building society account since I was 16. Priya wrote me a letter to send to my father. The letter gave him 60 days to either put my name on the deed of the rental or repay the £45,000 in full with interest at 5% compounded. I sent the letter on a Tuesday. I told my mother on a Wednesday. My mother screamed in my kitchen for an hour. She told me I was selfish. She told me Amir had brainwashed me. She told me she would write me out of the will. I let her. Amir made tea. Amir put a mug in front of her at the 48-minute mark, and she drank it without looking at him. My dad called the next morning. My dad did not scream. My dad said we will sort this out as a family. My dad asked me to call off Priya. I told him no. The first payment landed 3 weeks later. $5,000. The reference field said gift. The second landed a month after that. $8,000. The reference said gift again. I am keeping every transfer notification in the same folder as the deed and the gift declaration and Priya's letter. I have made copies on a thumb drive in Amir's safe. The deed of the rental still has my parents' names on it. My grandmother knows now. My aunt who lives in the rental knows now. My grandmother sent me a voice note last week in Urdu that said only good girl, do not let them. Amir and I are getting married in 18 months. My name is not yet on his mortgage. My name is not yet on his deed. My name is not yet on anything I have not personally read 3 times. The wedding is going to be paid for, in part, by the rental that was supposed to be mine, returning to me 1 gift labeled bank transfer at a time. I keep the deed in a drawer in my nightstand. I look at it once a week. I look at it the way you look at a scar. I close the drawer. I go to bed. I sleep.